Bitcoin and the S&P have both hit historic poor performance. What is happening? Because it is pretty scary out there. I want to share my thoughts and what we can expect next. Also, FTX has bought Blockfi, huge acquisition, and they are running away from Celsius because it has been reported Celsius is $2 billion in the hole. And there's a huge XRP Ledger update that was released today. Ripple's David Schwartz weighs in on it. And El Salvador, they just announced they have bought the dip, and they're also building a Bitcoin mining facility. Let's break it down. Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, as well as the thumbs up button, and leave a comment below. Quick word from our sponsor, and that is Linkto, which makes private equity investment easy. Linkto is democratizing the process of being able to get shares and equity into crypto companies and tech companies. They were one of the first companies of this nature to invest in Coinbase before their IPO. And the users on the platform at that time also invested in Coinbase, and they did very well. So Linkto is bringing the opportunity to accredited investors to be able to access companies like Ripple, BitPay, Dapper Labs, Abra, Uphold, and many more. And it's the opportunity to double dip, just like the venture capital firms, the hedge funds. You can buy the tokens, which many of you already hold, but also get equity in the companies building the infrastructure of the market. So I'm certainly a customer of Linkto. I'm acquiring shares in companies like Ripple and so forth. And I'm looking forward to making money on that front as companies go public, and even if they buy back shares, to make a profit that way. So if you'd like to learn more, check out Linkto. The link will be in the description. Now, the S&P 500 closes the first half of the year with the worst performance in 53 years. Guys, this time is different. And we know crypto and the stock market has been highly correlated. And in fact, Bitcoin is about to close minus 40% in June, the worst month ever. So we've had pullbacks in the bear markets and so forth, in the range of 20s to 30s and so forth, close to 40, but we've hit our worst month ever. So we've been talking about it, guys. The macro environment is really tough right now. There's a lot of roadblocks, hurdles, whatever you want to call them, with the Fed and raising interest rates, inflation, record-breaking inflation, and obviously the pandemic stuff still coming out, still hanging around, Russia, Ukraine, just a lot happening. And my hope is that the Fed can get inflation under control and that they can reverse and start doing quantitative easing. I've mentioned that later this year that we could see a reversal because of the midterm elections. They need to make sure the stock market, the economy looks good. And many presidents, both on Republican and Democrat side, have used the Fed as a political tool. So I think there will be a reversal maybe around September, but as I stated, months and weeks ago, much more pain ahead, my friends. So be prepared. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin goes down to 12,000. I'm not saying I want it to. I'm just saying that is a possibility given all these factors. And, we're going to talk about like Celsius today and, those black swan catalysts that if they were to collapse or happen, will drop the price even further down. So something to keep in the back of your mind so that if it does happen, you're prepared. You're not in a shock. You're not panicking. Okay, things could get worse. I'm buying the dips where I can, DCAing. And obviously this is not financial advice. You should do your own research. I'm talking about what I'm doing, and be patient, put it in a hardware wallet and just wait out this rough period. And then we will hit bull market cycle again. Just got to be patient. So big news today, FTX closes in on a deal to buy embattled crypto lender Blockfi for $25 million in a fire sale. Now, this amount of $25 million is being disputed by Sam Bankman-Fried, as well as Zach Prince, founder and CEO of Blockfi, saying lots of market rumors out there. I can 100% confirm that we aren't being sold for $25 million. I encourage everyone to trust only details that you hear directly from Blockfi. Now, recently, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX injected $250 million in a line of credit. So it looks like Blockfi is having a lot of issues, right? And this makes absolute great business sense from FTX's point of view. This is the time to go out, buy these companies at lower valuations, and build out your portfolio of services. And this is just a smart move on their part. But it also is sad because it just shows the position Blockfi is in. And, I tweeted about it. Imagine if Blockfi didn't have to give $100 million to the mobsters at the SEC. And I exclude Hester Peirce from that. But Gary Gensler, Tony Soprano, right? Having to give that $100 million, they probably would have been much better, off in this situation. But this is what the SEC has done. Don't get me wrong. It's not 100% on the SEC, but a big part of it is on the SEC. So that's happening. And also, Sam Bankman-Fried said, there are some rumors out there about the FTX exchange nixing a planned down venture raise, and that they are not hiring as that many people as what's reported. So a lot of media correction happening today around a lot of things, which is interesting. So just FYI on that. But here, FTX passes on Celsius Network acquisition due to a $2 billion hole in its balance sheet. Holy hell, like $2 billion. My gosh. I hope that's a bit of sensationalism and exaggeration. I hope hopefully it's under 1 billion, but man, I don't know. We haven't heard from Alex Mashinsky and the team. Things are not looking good. And, as I've said before, hopefully they figure this out. They get acquired. They don't collapse, because, man, this would be really painful for the market. It's going to be, I think, a really bad bear market, guys, even worse than what we saw in 2018, 2019. And don't get me wrong, bear markets don't last forever, excuse me. A bull market will come back, but it will be a bigger hole that we'll have to dig ourselves out of. So that's why I don't want these black swan events to happen. I would rather these companies get acquired, they get put into the black again, and they can, just get things ironed out and fix their problems and move forward. Now, big news coming out from the folks at Ripple today. They have introduced Clio version 1.0, an XRP Ledger API server built to, one, enhance throughput for API requests, reduce memory usage, lower storage overhead, enable easier horizontal scaling. Ripple's David Schwartz, who I've interviewed multiple times, he weighed in and said, excited to announce the release of Clio 1.0, which significantly improves the scalability of access to the XRP Ledger data. It doesn't matter how quickly and cheaply the ledger can reach finality if you can't support massive numbers of queries from wallets, exchanges, and explorers. Sounds like a big update to gain more adoption, guys. And this is what you want to see, the building continuing, the multiple iterations. And, Ripple's been pushing for more tokenization on the XRP ledger in the format of CBDCs as well as NFTs and so forth. So you have to make sure that your network, your blockchain can support that, and they're doing that. So much respect there. I will try to get an interview with David again to talk about some of these upgrades and what else they're working on. So pretty cool. Once again, if you're holding XRP, that's definitely good news. Now, President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador just tweeted out, El Salvador bought 80 Bitcoin at $19,000 each. He said, Bitcoin is the future. Thank you for selling cheap. And he put screenshots here of the purchases. So, gotta give kudos to the conviction and buying the dip. Hopefully he's doing the right thing, though, with the respective funds. I'm not saying he isn't. I just want to make sure there's transparency, and El Salvador is not the richest country in the world, obviously. So I want to make sure there's transparency and that they're using the appropriate funds where needed. And there's also news that broke that they are building a $200 million solar powered Bitcoin mining facility. So we know they're all in on Bitcoin, guys, and they're going to be doing a lot more. And I absolutely hope everything works out for President Bukele in El Salvador. I'm not a Bitcoin hater. I'm not a hater of seeing people, getting prosperity off of crypto and doing well off of crypto. So I hope everything goes well, because I know some hard times are ahead. Some painful times are ahead. The Netherlands' first spot Bitcoin ETF will launch next month. Are you listening, Goldman Gary Gensler, who yesterday we know denied the Grayscale Bitcoin spot ETF, but Grayscale is going to be suing the hell out of the SEC, and I hope the other applicants also do the same. So the Jacoby Bitcoin ETF will be the first spot Bitcoin ETF offered to the Euronext Amsterdam exchange for institutional European investors. And even yesterday, we saw Switzerland, they approved another Bitcoin spot ETF. Finally, guys, Binance continues their marketing despite the bear market, and they have partnered with the TikTok creator, the most followed and probably the most famous, Khabi Lame. Many of you have probably seen his videos where he doesn't say anything and he's just highlighting how certain things can be done simply. It's pretty creative, and he's done well and he's successful, but it shows these folks are still bullish on the market, and that they know all market cycles: bear, then bull, then bear, then bull. It is a tale as old as time. Look at the stock market, look at real estate. The people who get scared are the ones operating by emotions and who don't understand market cycles, who don't have the patience to wade through these things. Just go listen to Warren Buffett talk about investing, and patience is a big part of it. And he talks about people who panic sell stocks when it goes down. Same thing happens in crypto, right? Human emotions. And you have to educate yourself and learn and train yourself not to move in that direction. Now, if you need money and you have an emergency, you're like, I need to liquidate all my assets because I need the money, I have an emergency. Of course, that's an entirely different situation. But if you're panic selling because you see the price drop significantly, or because of the bear market, that's definitely a big mistake. And based on those reasonings, like I said, if there's an emergency, you need the money, you do what you got to do. But it just shows, guys, these institutional investors are building, they're bullish. The crypto funds continue to raise capital. So I hope you are seeing this and you're thinking in the same mindset. Macro view: we're in a bear market. This is a buying opportunity. And then when the bull market comes up and the highs and new all-time highs come, that's the time to sell. That is not the time to buy. And I hope I've done a good job over the years telling you guys about this and educating you about it. And it's how I've made money. And of course, the successful crypto investors. Yes, you have the 1 in a million guys, or the 1 in 100,000 guys who bought it, because a buddy just told them at the right time. And they didn't do much research and they made some money. Yes, but that's not everybody, right? That's like playing the lottery. But typically, the Warren Buffetts of the world and so forth, they study markets, they understand the market cycles, they buy the bottoms, sell the tops, rinse and repeat. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.